It's that time once again for a pro wrestling triple shot. This time around, it is WWE Backlash, live from Puerto Rico, San Juan, Puerto Rico to be specific. But the thing is that before I break it down, what I think will happen, what I want to happen in my wild card pick, what I've got to do, what I've got to talk to you about, is my 68-page graphic novel, Everlasting Survivors, Volume 1, all day long. If you follow the description of this video, click that link. It'll take you to my Indiegogo campaign where you can pick up anywhere from cover A to B, C, D, E. There are plenty of options when it comes to beautiful art. There are posters, there are t-shirts, there are hats, there are all kinds of things. Anybody makes a purchase gets a sticker. After I roll that open, I'm going to break it down. My triple shot. You can't have a triple shot when it comes to a wrestling show without first talking about what I think will happen. And this time, it is more than just what I think will happen, it's what I think must happen. And that is, I think Cody Rhodes must get a decisive win over Brock Lesnar. I'm not necessarily saying that he should be given the Brock Lesnar spot when he wrestled John Cena at SummerSlam and do it in a short order with very few moves. However, I do think that at the end of the day, at the end of the match, the conclusion of Backlash, there should be no doubt that Cody Rhodes cannot be stopped. I want it to be the most certain time ever for anyone that this man is going to be the man. So there was this big to-do back in the Shield days where I think Seth Rollins said he's the man, Roman Reigns said he's the guy, and Dean Ambrose said he was like the dude or something like that. But I want there to be no doubt at the end of Backlash that Cody Rhodes will be the one to dethrone Roman Reigns. I would be so bold as to, after Cody Rhodes wins the match, to even have him say that he's declaring for the Money in the Bank in London, England, and that when he wins, and I would even put it that way, when I win the Money in the Bank, Roman, I'm taking that championship from you at SummerSlam. I think that by laying it all out, by being upfront and honest and real about Cody's intentions, then you can build him to be. See, the thing is that people keep saying, "Oh, he needs adversity." You know, the people behind the scenes. Oh, adversity. Oh, the story's not done at WrestleMania. He needs to face more challenges. Well, the fact is, the man had a torn pec. The man worked, I think, 6 to 8 years, something like that, a long time, the first round, and never got the rocket strapped to him the way that Roman has in his run here with the company. Thus, I would use that to Cody's advantage. Like I said, be so bold as to, after beating Brock Lesnar, say, I'm declaring for Money in the Bank, and when I win, SummerSlam is when I'm winning the title. And legitimately, I'd put the title on Cody at SummerSlam if you follow this formula, because Roman will have already become the 5th longest champion in the history if you just fold down the Universal lineage into the original lineage of the other title that he's holding, thus making him the 5th longest champion in company's history, which is a great feat in and of itself. And we all know he's not going to make it to the number 1 spot. That's 11 years, so a lot more years. So it's just not, he's not going to be number 1 of all time, Roman Reigns. And so I think that instead of having Cody face quote-unquote adversity, what you need to do is have Cody established as the man To be the man, you got to beat the man, and prove by having Cody beat one of the guys who have been the next big thing and then the thing that Cody is the next guy. And by doing so, you do that by having him beat Brock Lesnar decisively. And so that is what I think must happen at Backlash to get the ball rolling, to get Cody to have the correct momentum going forward. But again, what I think will happen is not all that a triple shot is made of. Because you can't have a good triple shot without talking about what you want to have happen. And what I want is for at Backlash, I want for Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed to be the two big brutes, two big monsters that they are. This Godzilla and King Kong. I want them to be two unstoppable forces of nature and pretty much ignore that Austin Theory exists. They can occasionally hit him with high-impact maneuvers to get him out of their way, but I want their focus to primarily be on one another. So this, to me, would lean into the concept of how John Cena referred to Austin Theory as forgettable and without character, and he's so forgettable that even as champion that his challengers put him to the side and look at each other as the ones that need to have each other's focus. And so the other big reason for this to me would be to make it clear that when I would have Bobby Lashley win this match, by the way, that way that he takes the United States Championship with him to SmackDown. Now, granted, Austin Theory as well was traded, or whatever you want to call it, drafted to SmackDown. But the reason I want Bobby to win this match, and I want him to win by beating Bronson Reed, is because I believe Bronson can move on past the loss, because Bobby won't be on Raw to basically remind people that he beat Bronson. And by Bobby beating the stronger of the two competitors, in his mind at least. Let's be honest, legitimately, Bronson Reed most likely is stronger than Austin Theory due to just mass. But the reason I want Bobby to defeat Bronson Reed and ignore Austin Theory is because I want for Austin Theory to evolve in his time on SmackDown in this new era of a draft to where that he can not quite be an underdog fighting from beneath, but just he has to have some evolution to himself. Like right now, like he's thankfully moved past the picture, the selfie thing that he was doing with Vince. Thankfully that's over, but even though it's gone and he got his first name back, there's very little that can be pointed toward and said, this is what Austin Theory is. He's got a good body, but, most people do in the game. He's a fine wrestler, but most people are nowadays. And so I just want for Bobby to get the title because I think Bobby is a great total, not Lex Luger, but a great total package of a wrestler. And I want Austin Theory to have to find himself to get back to an upper level. And so that's why I want Bobby Lashley to defeat Bronson Reed in the United States Championship match, and for Austin, and the reason for that is so Austin Theory can try to find himself without the championship and work his way back to a prominent position after getting more depth to his presentation, potentially. I mean, I guess that's the best way I can put it. But now that we've got what I think out of the way and what I want out of the way, it is time for the off-the-wall, the crazy and the wild card pick of WWE Backlash. So I don't know on this card what will open, what will close, what's going where, what's happening when. But what I do know is that if this trios match goes on last, which is all three of the Uso brothers, Solo, Jimmy, and Jay, taking on Matt Riddle, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens, if it goes on last, which, given my booking of the match, I think it ought to. As a matter of fact, let's put it this way. Given my prior picks, I think that Cody and Brock should go on first. That way that Cody can, like I said, prove his dominance, his place in the company, and then make his declaration at the end. You do Bobby winning the U.S. title in the middle. Put semi-main, have Bad Bunny and Priest, and then here in the main event do the Uso trio versus KO, Sammy, and Riddle. And the reason being that I think that the tag team champions plus Riddle and the Uso trio should go on last is because I believe that it would be freaking-tacular if in the main event of Backlash, after Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and Matt Riddle defeat the Uso trio, if during the celebration of the said victory, we get a surprise RKO out of nowhere to Sami Zayn from Matt Riddle, only for Kevin Owens to turn around and eat an RKO himself from a returning Randy Orton, setting up for the return of RK Bro, only this time they are both absolute dirty, vile, vicious villains. I know that it is hard for returning acts to get booed, but I think that the love and adoration that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn garner will make it easier for people to dislike Randy Orton, and Randy is a known nefarious no good Nick or whatever, no bad guy. And so, yes, maybe in the initial pop of the RKO, he'll get cheered, and potentially on the Raw return. But if we were to have Randy and Riddle work very vicious, so people know that Matt Riddle is a former mixed martial artist, mixed martial arts fighter. So have him lay off of the I'm cool bro verbiage and lean into the fact that he's got a legit fighting past, and then let Randy lean into his vicious side that everybody knows that he has as well. I think that it would make for great, fun, compelling television to have evil Randy and evil Riddle taking on good Kevin and good Sammy. And it would also solve the impending question of how do you get the tag team titles on Night of Champions while Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are champions. Well, easy solution. You put the tag team titles on RK Bro and then have them defend against the Usos, and they defeat the Usos at Night of Champions, but Roman is unable to do anything on the night due to his focus being his own 1,000th day as Universal Champion. And so I think that would make for a very fun finish to the show with a return of Randy Orton if possible. So I appreciate you tuning in for this triple shot for WWE Backlash. Come back Monday for a WWE Studio Slam for 12 Rounds 3 Lockdown. Tune in next Wednesday for the continuation of the Wednesday Rewind. And tune in next Friday for, I think it's Alpha Entertainment Worldwide, but I'm not sure. Anyway, appreciate your time. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time.